Markus.
Heiko, hello.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to our this month's
Hi, folks.
Ask Me Anything session. And we thought we start with some totally crazy background pictures because I think is it I don't know how many years ago where Windows 95 has been launched. I think it was on the 24th of April. I guess it was 95, most probably.
Maybe.
Maybe.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I was 10 years old, so I do not remember exactly when it was launched.
Yeah, and but it was I would say a big step forward compared to Windows 3.1.
Yeah, sure.
11. Yeah, absolutely. All right. So today we have another special guest. It's Andreas, and we're going to talk with him about of course, PowerShell automation and all kind of stuff. So let him just join our conversation. Hi, Andreas.
Hi, everybody. Hi.
How are you?
I'm fine, thanks. Thanks a lot for the invitation today.
Yeah, sure. We're looking forward to the conversation with you, Ed. So first question always is, of course, for people who maybe don't know you, just give us a little background of what you're doing in IT, where you're coming from, stuff like that.
Okay, how much of the 30 minutes do you want me to take now? No, just a joke.
We're going to interrupt if necessary, maybe.
Okay. No, just a joke. Who am I? What am I? Why am I? Basically, I am kind of consultant for Microsoft Cloud Technology. Many years ago, I was a Lotus Notes developer and administrator. These were my first touch points to developing itself. And then came the time when Microsoft released Exchange 2007 with PowerShell. And since then, I'm PowerShell addicted. And since many years, I am in the field as Microsoft 365 and Azure consultant. And with the extension like a PowerShell problem solver. So no tool is perfect. Each customer has requirements, workflows, whatever automation needs. And these are solved by me with PowerShell scripts. This is what I basically do. And since around about 1 year, I have my own company. So I am not employed the classical way anymore, the traditional way. I am my own boss with my own company.
And so
that leads us to our first question. So
okay,
how is it being your own boss? So do you like it? Do you enjoy it, or do you want to go back to a typical 9-to-5 job?
No, for no money in the world. It's good as it is. I would do it exactly the same way again and again. Of course, it's a lot more work to do than just being employed. Yes, that's the case. You have longer work days, you have other work to do, but I'm happy that I did it. Yeah.
So I guess you're also involved in kind of administration stuff like taxes and stuff like that.
Yep.
All the fun stuff, I guess, right?
Fun stuff is the best description. Yes.
I guess especially in Germany, right?
Mm-hmm.
So that's okay.
Yep.
Maybe we should change subject here. Maybe to talk a little bit that's more fun. Which would us bring to the next question. That should I take it, Markus?
Yeah, sure, take it.
It's about the PSConf EU, and it's how was PSConf EU for you in general?
With one word, amazing. Just amazing.
Next question. Okay.
No, it was very, very cool after this long period of time to meet people again in person. Markus, this was the first possibility for us to meet in person. We knew only virtually before, and then we met them, had the chance to get a cup of coffee, a glass of beer, or similar drinks in the evening. Just meet people again, get outside, talk to them in reality. It is a big difference in having a Teams meeting or a Zoom meeting or just standing face to face and talk to each other. So it was just great, amazing. every positive adjective which you can think of.
Okay, and I guess being in Vienna didn't hurt, right, as a city?
No, that was, no, Vienna is terrible. No, Vienna is a beautiful town, beautiful city. I've been there before for holidays, and I enjoyed every second. So many beautiful houses, corners, the town, everything. The people, I love the dialect, how the Austrians speak. This is personal for me. I just enjoyed it every second, really.
Very cool. And then I think we have a follow-up question to this. Markus, do you want to take it?
Yeah, sure. How was it to be a first-time speaker in front of real people? So I think it was you have done a lot of sessions online, but it was the first time, the first speak in front of a real people or on a conference at all.
Yeah. Before I had 2 sessions at PSConf, and before the first session, I was really scared like hell because, as you said,
yes, I remember we talked before, and it seemed you were a little bit nervous.
A little bit is a very polite description. As you said, I had talks at virtual summits before, for example, M365 Summit or Team Summit, yes. But standing and speaking in front of real people is something completely different. And when you stand there and then you have 1 million thoughts in your brain, I think, okay, I have to think of this, of this, of this, of that. Do not say this, do not say that. Try to describe it like this and do not do any mistakes. And at the same time, try to get your mind free to be able to speak clear, normal sentences and not start to talking Chinese Mandarin or something like this. This was really, the first 2 minutes were the most difficult, but then there was some kind of flow. And then I said, okay, the people there, they are smiling at you. They like you. They are not here to hate you or to blame you or something like this. And then when the mind says, okay, you're all friends, everything is fine, you are good in your topic, you know what you talk about, the people are smiling, and then everything went well.
I think that's the great thing about the community, right? Because everybody is welcomed, everybody wants to help each other, so lifting up each other. So I think that's really what it is.
And for all our watchers here, I think, Heiko, you can post the links to the sessions.
So that would be that would be the next question, actually. So what did you talk about in your sessions? What was the topic?
The first one, as I said, I had 2 sessions. The first one was about building a secure script with the Microsoft Graph API and PowerShell. And the second one was how Exchange Online, PowerShell, and the Graph API can work together. And my use case, my example in that was the upcoming deprecation of basic authentication in Exchange Online. And I showed in this session how easy it is to export a mailbox with the Microsoft Graph.
Yeah. So okay. I was in the sessions and they were great. So
is it as easy?
Okay. If you know how the graph works, everything is easy.
Okay. So I just posted the link to the first session that you did. The second one was, I think, about
the first one, building a secure script with Graph API. This was about Azure AD app registration, client secrets, certificates, how to assign the right permissions, how to determine the right permissions which you need in your application, which not, what you should not assign, what you should monitor, and things like that. And especially one very, very important topic for developers, scoping. So, for example, if you have an Exchange Online script with a graph, you have permissions on any mailbox in your tenant, and scoping to certain mailboxes is an important topic at many customers, many environments. This is what I also covered.
Okay. So I guess that MS Graph is a big topic right now because Microsoft is moving or kind of forces everybody to use the graph and stuff like that. So what is your overall experience with the MS Graph so far?
It's not perfect, but I love it.
Okay.
Yeah, really. It's not perfect because there are some things that I am still missing. For example, an application permission for planner, for example. You can only do this as delegated, so as a user in the background, not as a task, not as a daemon. This is what I'm currently missing, for example. But I love it because it's a unified API for everything, also everything that is implemented. You do not have to learn API 1 for product 1, API 2 for product 2, API 3 for product 3. Everything's the same. If you know how to query an Exchange mailbox, you know in general how to query a team. And this is what I really love about it.
Yeah, okay. But would you say there is, I mean, there is some, at least my experience is there is some kind of learning curve, right?
Yeah,
especially for people who are not developers, like, like administrators who are used to work with modules.
Yeah. So, but it's I think the modules are, but we will cover this in a few seconds or in a few minutes. So, but I think the API has a steep learning curve, but the modules are PowerShell modules. So there's no difference to the other PowerShell modules. But currently, I think they are not working as expected. So I think most of the commandlets are still broken.
I would also say, I think it looks like, and it obviously is work in progress on the Microsoft side, right? So things are changing. Documentation is there sometimes, but it's what's your experience there, Andreas? So from the field, so to speak.
Yeah, from the field. Yeah, good hint. Yes, there is a very huge learning curve. No discussion. For someone who is not a natural born developer, it is maybe even hard when he starts developing with Graph. No discussion, definitely. But if you reach the point where you say, I've understood how it works, I understand the principles, the way it is built, the way it returns data to me, it's every time the same. So once you have this learning curve, then everything will work. This is my experience. And about the PowerShell modules, I do not use them because I personally don't like them. There's, I forgot the name of that tool. And maybe I can remember later. Why I do not like them, it's easy. So imagine you develop a graph script. The first thing you have to do is look up the permissions. What do I want to do? Which permissions do I need? So what do? You look in the documentation, or you look in the Azure AD app registration, what you're using, and find what you are using. So then you assign this to your application, and I, in the next step, come and say, okay, I have my graph call, https graph.microsoft.com/v1/ blah, blah, blah. Everything's fine. I get my results back. Now, when I remember what should be the principles of PowerShell, easy to learn, easy to understand, easy to work with. And then I look at the PowerShell Graph SDK and I see, what do I have to do? The first thing is I have a deep look at the documentation. Which permissions do I need? I have to learn exactly the same things. I have to look up exactly the same things to see which submodule do I have to load. So I have no improvement at this case. And then the next is you have to provide exactly what the Graph API needs as input object to your PowerShell scene. There's no simplification in that. And this is why I do not really like them. That's why I use the native API. The PowerShell SDK for me at the moment is more an overhead than a real simplification of my scripting workflow.
Yeah. So, and there are a lot of submodules.
Yes, and as you also said, the documentation is not finished yet.
Work in progress, yeah.
Yes, work in progress. This is why I personally do not use them. This does not mean they are really bad, but for me personal, they have no benefit. That's why I do not use them.
Okay, because just this morning I had a discussion with Markus about this module that I think you discovered at PSConf. This what was it called? MS Graph plus plus or something?
Yeah, MS Graph plus plus from James O'Neill.
Yeah, but you said also it's not really helpful. You also said you would prefer to go natively with the graph, right?
Yeah. I just when I work with Graph, I just use the API, not the modules and the SDK. And the Graph plus plus is a great module without discussion. So I joined the session on PSConf, and I think it could be helpful for people which really have no experience with Graph. But at the current time, I think most of the commandlets of the Graph++ module are natively available in the modules. So I'm not sure if it is necessary to use the module. But just try it out and decide for yourself.
Yes, of course. In the end, it's always personal opinion or personal feeling, how it feels.
Yeah.
I'm sure there are pretty much people out there who say, "Oh, I don't feel familiar with these invoke web request, invoke REST method, minus URL, HTTPS graph.microsoft.com, and so on. They like using get minus mg graph, mg user or whatever.
Yeah,
it's okay, but everybody must have his own opinion about that.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think that, again, we had this also in the other discussion the other time. It's like typically in PowerShell, there is not one way that is correct. There are many different ways. So that's I think the great thing about PowerShell. So and we know, Markus, right, that our ScriptRunner customers, they are also kind of started to move towards Microsoft Graph, and we did something in the solution, so we have a dedicated target for MS Graph, and so I guess that also would lead us to the next question. Do you want to take it, Markus? Or?
Yeah, sure. Okay, yeah. What experience do you have with the ScriptRunner solution? So,
Do you have experience at all with our solution?
Yes, of course. First, as you know, we are partner companies. So my company and ScriptRunner, we are partners. Of course, I have experience, and it's a great tool for automating and for self-service, especially for the users. I love it in my projects where customer says, "Oh, I have use cases like people go to holiday, they forget they're out of office. How can the delegates set this? They call it the IT. The IT has to hack into the mailbox because they do not know the PowerShell or they do not have the permissions in it." And ScriptRunner, you have a simple portal for that.
Yeah, I think that's I would say that's correct. So yeah, and I think it's, as we always see, that it's a great combination having PowerShell with ScriptRunner, which I think. Well, what I would do in the meantime, also I would put in a link into the chat to our action packs where we have, as I just mentioned, some sample scripts for using MS Graph together with ScriptRunner, for people who want to maybe start with that kind of way of using PowerShell. But
I think this most of them are scripts for the SDK, not for the API. So I'm not sure if we are if there will be follow-up scripts for this for the API, but I think so.
I'm pretty sure. Yeah. Especially because, as we already said, the whole MS Graph thing is still a work in progress. So I'm sure there will be, number one, adjustments to scripts when the behavior changes, when the endpoints are changing, and then I guess there are also going to be new capabilities that we will also kind of showcase in the sample scripts.
Yeah, sure. And if there are any changes, we will rework this scripts from time to time, so they will cover up all the news, all the new stuff Microsoft will implement into Graph. So
yes, absolutely. Okay, so We should go to the next question here. What do you think, Markus?
Yeah, just switch the topic completely.
Yeah, like with Monty Python, right? And now to something totally different.
Yes.
I think I would take the question, not the next one, but the one after that, and then we come back to the other one. And that would be the question would be, what are the most interesting news around PowerShell in your opinion at the moment?
Very difficult question. Let me think. In general, thinking some weeks or months back, everything around PS styles in PowerShell, because if I remember back some years when I wrote scripts, each customer said to me, "Oh, when you write scripts, the console is always so colorful." I love that. An error must be deep red, a warning yellow, and script start must be some kind of magenta or something that is hurting in the eyes that you see what is happening.
Yeah.
Or changing color from green to blue during the script, that you always know what is my script doing without having to read it. That is always my intention. And yeah, with the PS styles, Microsoft has done a big favor in making that simpler. And another thing I think about is the current announcement or the recent announcement of Get What's New.
Yeah. Did you play around with that already?
I started, but not very deep yet. But I started with it, yes. I worked, or I still work a lot with PowerShell 5 and PowerShell 6, so PowerShell Core. And there was a long time after PowerShell 7 release where I did not really use it. There was no real reason. There was also not a real need. But when you do not use it, maybe you miss cool new features. And I think now with Get What's New, you have a very, very easy way to find out what's new in this release. What can I learn now? What is cool to use maybe in a future project? For example, the ternary operator, something new, which many people, I'm really sure, do not know yet.
Yeah, true. As it's true with I guess with kind of PowerShell 7 in general. What I just put into the chat, because I just actually was just looking for PS style, and there is an interesting article from Jeffrey Hicks published on for SysOps about.
And I know that. This good article, yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and it's just I think it's from January, so it's still interesting. Yeah. So as you mentioned, Get What's New. Also, we had a discussion, Markus, this morning where you said you tried it already, and it was like if there's a lot of information, it's kind of difficult to read, or maybe it would be more convenient to have it on a blog post or something like this.
Yeah, I think it's a great thing to query news in the PowerShell itself. But I tried it yesterday. I installed the module yesterday and hit Get What's New, and it was a lot of text, so you have to scroll up and down, and I think it's not really convenient to read. So I think all the information are better to read in like a blog post or something like that. But if you have the terminal open, so it's okay to check what's new. But I'm not sure if this will be my all-time source for PowerShell news. So I think
but maybe it's kind of a flashlight that tells you, oh, there is something new, and then you might turn to maybe a blog post written by Jason Helmick or something like this.
Well, what I think, or my experience also, of course, it will not be the all-time source for what's new in PowerShell, but for me, it already happened. I Googled or Binged or whatever your favorite search engine is a long time for what are the release notes. And the article number 20, which you open, is finally the right one. With this, you have a short path.
True. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So yeah. Okay. What you can do is you can save the what's new stuff in another data format or something like
Yeah.
that, and read it outside of the PowerShell. Yeah. That's okay. I think it's as I said, it's great, but I think I won't use it so much in the PowerShell itself.
It's like with the Graph API, personal preference, which you like more.
Yeah. Sure.
A web browser or a console.
Yeah. I think that's very true. All right, let's move on to the next question, Markus. Right?
Yeah. Okay. So we have So what are the most interesting news around PowerShell in your opinion we had? Did you test again? What's new? Okay. What's new we had? So how often do you use PowerShell 7 compared to Windows PowerShell?
I changed my behavior some weeks ago, and this is now like this. When I do something with PowerShell, I start with PowerShell 7 and look if it works or if I have problems. And if I have problems, I switch back to PowerShell 5. This is how I work now.
All right.
So I do it the other way around.
So that means you kind of force yourself to use PowerShell 7. And so how often you had to go back to Windows PowerShell because of maybe the system or the modules or compatibility stuff?
Well, it's hard to count, but not so very often, to be honest. I had, I don't remember which module it was exactly some days ago. I don't use the Azure AD and Azure AD Preview module anymore. There were some issues which I had, I remember. But everything else in general is running up to now. So the most things I do currently are Graph API calls, and they work because invoke REST method, and they work.
Yeah. Okay. So what would you say is the, because you already mentioned a few options in PowerShell 7. So what would you say would be from your perspective, is the big advantage or the biggest features or the most important features that you say, okay, that's cool to have in PowerShell 7?
It's not really a PowerShell 7 feature, but cross-platform in general. But this is not only PowerShell 7, but in general, cross-platform is a good thing.
Okay. I think that's an interesting topic, because so you in your experience you work with organizations who already use PowerShell not just for managing Windows but also Linux or Mac OS, or writing their scripts on their MacBook, stuff like that.
Some write on the MacBook, or some developers switch to Mac because they say it's these machines have more performance when developing. They know Xcode, for example, from their study and from the courses. Yeah, Markus, good example.
You can't see it.
Okay. The Apple people are in the house. The Apple people are in
but it's funny that the camera tried to blur out your Mac.
Could be a sign. I don't know.
But in general, I'm not one that says, "Oh, Windows is the best," or "Mac is the best," or anything of these are totally crap. No. Each system has its advantages and disadvantages, but you can make your life easier when you have scripts that run cross-platform without adjustments. That is just the use case.
I can totally relate to that. What I found interesting, just because I looked at the statistics from Microsoft about how often PowerShell 7 got started, and I did a screenshot just look at it, February 2021, and the scale of how often Windows PowerShell 7 got started, no matter if it's Windows or Mac OS, was around 100 million. And I did the same thing a few days ago. Was comparing our webinar, and now we are almost reaching the 1 billion scale. So within 1.5 years, from 1 million to almost 1 billion. That's really impressive. I didn't even think that it was that much, or it changed so dramatically. So that really, I think, shows that obviously PowerShell 7 more and more gets being used. Absolutely. Yeah. So, but still, what we I think also experience, Markus, that our customers, when we talk to them and work with them, I would say maybe 90% still Windows PowerShell. What would you say, Markus?
Yeah, I think at least 85 or 90% are still on Windows PowerShell.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would agree to this number, but personally, currently with my company, I'm about to hire a developer, and he will only start if he's allowed to use a Mac.
Okay.
Cross-platform is important.
Okay. So your company is growing. So you're
yes.
Okay. So if people are out there, and they can get in touch with you to. So I think I already put in the link to your Twitter account. So I guess I can DM. Your DM is probably open.
Yeah.
So yeah, if there are people who are
people
interested.
who work for free are of course preferred.
Really? Okay. Okay. That's something that we are looking for as well, Markus, right? Yeah.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah. Yeah, sure. Okay. So I think
no, I don't know. Okay, just go on.
I was just looking at the next question here, which kind of brings us to a little bit away from maybe the business stuff. Do you want to take it, Markus? Should I?
It's your turn.
It's my turn. All right. Okay.
Your turn.
So it says, when you are not staring at screens, what are you doing in your spare time?
Barbecue.
Barbecue. Okay, next question.
That's my
Okay, so you have the biggest barbecue grill in the neighborhood?
The biggest and the most ones, yeah.
Okay, you not only have one, you have multiple ones? Okay, that's interesting.
Yes, one with gas, one normal with coal, one for picnic, one for shashlik.
Okay.
Ooh,
yes,
okay.
and
Nice.
next year, maybe in 2 or 3 years, I want to buy a smoker, and
Wow, that sounds like serious business here. Okay.
I always tend to say, if I do not have to work for money anymore and just for fun, then I open a school for grilling, a school for barbecue, just for fun.
Okay.
Do barbecue every day with people, talk and drink and enjoy life.
Okay.
Yeah, sure.
Cool.
That sounds like the outdoor kitchen is nearly complete on your side.
Yeah, first I need to do my garden, yes, because I built some years ago a house for me and my family, but our outdoor kitchen is really planned.
Oh yeah, and then you can also start a YouTube channel.
If I do this one day, I will. Yeah.
Yeah. That's okay. And so it's when you're doing barbecue, it's everything like meat and vegetables and any specialties that people come around when they know, oh, Andreas is doing something. We need to be there.
Funnily, nothing special. They always say, "Oh, if Andreas starting barbecue, we like to come because it's always good food, no matter what. It's chicken, it's beef. I personally prefer filet from the beefer.
Okay.
Medium rare. This is my personal.
Now I'm getting hungry.
Sure. Yeah. Me too.
So I think we should visit you, Andreas. I think that's
why not?
Yeah.
Come around.
Then maybe also because you're in Bavaria, I guess there will be some good beer as well.
Yes.
No.
I think I do not have to comment that. Yes, of course.
Perfect. Yeah, that's. Maybe, Markus, we should plan a ScriptRunner company.
We should.
Yeah. Travel to Andreas, and then kind of.
You're welcome.
Yeah,
you're always welcome.
Occupying the garden. Okay.
Yes.
Yeah, Matthias just said Wandertag. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
That would be. Well,
like
not walking from our place to you, but when we are there, maybe we could walk a little bit. So that would be, I guess.
We can.
a good plan.
And I think we'll bring some pieces of goat meat.
Yeah, and because I mean, you with your cooking background, Markus, right?
Yeah, sure. So and Andreas and I, we are the masters on the grill, on the beef,
the chefs,
and the chefs. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Maybe Markus, we should found a new company.
yeah, the chefs. Yeah. And,
automation in beef, or beef in automation, something like that.
I'm in.
That sounds like a great combination, I would say.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Okay. Write this down. New business idea. Yeah. That's cool. Very cool. All right. I think we're coming actually to at least the last official question that we have on our list.
Yes.
Right.
So back to business. Are there any or is there any interesting project you're working on right now?
Yeah, several ones. The first, that can be mentioned. This is a very, very young project. This was the idea came actually at PSCon. I met some guy there, Christian, and we talked at the come together at the community event, and we talked, and then we said, hey, what about some kind of framework like a mini SOC for Microsoft 365? Because SOCs are very, very expensive, but all the data is already there. But we both do not know a module or a script or something like this to aggregate this and to do some custom alerting and things like this. And then we said, okay, let's try to write something like this. There's no release date, no alpha or beta yet. This is just too early, but we have started this and collecting ideas and architectural pictures.
Okay. Wow.
Yeah. And one thing that has priority at the moment, which I will put on GitHub in the next days, is a small script also related to the basic authentication deprecation, a graph-based querying the Azure AD sign-in logs for basic outsigns.
All right. Okay. Because I was also wanted to ask, can people just kind of follow and see where this project is? So would be the best ways to follow you on GitHub as well?
Yes, follow me on GitHub. There you see the organizations. With Christian, we've started the organization Weekend Scripters. So it was just a name created while having a beer and in a meeting.
Okay, cool.
And this is the place where we will publish it, or other ideas we will maybe have in the future. One day.
I just looked at it. Is it Cloud Cobalt? Is this?
This is my personal one. Yeah.
Okay, so that's the one.
Yeah.
Where
this is my personal. Yeah.
Okay, then I'm just putting that into the Cloud Cobalt. I like that. Okay, so I put that into the chat as well.
Yeah, there are also some scripts. I'm currently still cleaning up my old repositories and scripts and things which I did the last years, and interesting ones are also added to my repositories there. Little tools, little helpers, which I developed over the years.
Cool. So so this project that you're doing with Christian, what do you think? Something that we will see something happening this year?
The problem is we are doing this in our free time and we have jobs. We need to earn money too.
You need to feed your family, right? Yeah.
They are hungry. They want also daddy to do barbecue, to do some sausages. We hope to release something maybe end of this year or maybe beginning of next year, but we cannot promise it.
Okay, so I guess the best way would be really to continue to follow you on Twitter, and people will see what's happening there, because I think that's something that a lot of people will be interested in.
Yeah, I think so too.
Yeah,
especially if it's for free, so you know how expensive a SOC can be.
Yeah.
Of course, it does not replace everything a SOC can deliver, but some parts. And saving money.
Yeah, I think people will be very interested in seeing what you're doing there together. And I think Christian is about to start a PowerShell user group in Frankfurt, I think. was in touch with him a couple of months ago, because we still have our Rhein-Neckar PowerShell user group still kind of pending, but we want to breathe some life into it again. And so, yeah, it's great to see new communities also coming up.
Yeah. It's good that you mention it, because I'm also talking to Christian that I support him, because doing this alone is really hard work. And I want to support him.
You should be two people at least, and it's just more fun, right? Yeah, definitely.
Less work and more fun.
Yeah, absolutely. That's what it's all about. So I think we are at the end of the list of our official question, Markus, right?
Yeah.
So let's see if we have something else that we could ask. But so since we haven't, there are no questions came in from the YouTube channel so far, which is okay. But I think we covered a lot. It was really very, very interesting to see, especially when we talked about the graph and your experience and the stuff that you can do and the things that we wish we could do, where Microsoft has still some homework, I would say. But that was, I enjoyed it a lot. And so, by the way, are you going on a vacation or for summer vacation, or you already had been?
No, I already came back.
Okay, so you're highly motivated, relaxed to do
always
to do barbecuing at least.
Yes. Barbecue and scripting, yeah. One question came in: will you be on European Cloud Summit? No.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So we will be there. So I will be there actually, and two other colleagues. So. But
and on the last one we met the first time on the last Cloud Summit in Düsseldorf.
Yeah, this
in
was
Düsseldorf.
First
time. Summit, collaboration summit in Düsseldorf. We met the first time, right? But I have to leave Cloud Summit this year because I have too much work. Just no time to go there, unfortunately. But next time,
understandable.
I will be there again.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, that's now that we are kind of having these events coming back, kind of. So there will be other opportunities, I guess.
I'm pretty sure,
Markus, is there anything else we should poke Andreas with?
I think not at the moment. Just wishing a nice weekend.
Yeah, that's a good idea. And as right now over here, it just starts to some thunderstorm, I think, is going to start. So before my connection goes down,
yes.
I can hear thunder. So
so the antenna on the roof will fly away.
Yeah,
and then the connection will be broken.
This thunderstorm here just passed by, so it just finished now. I think 5 minutes ago, if I look outside. So come here for barbecue now. The weather is fine now.
Yeah, so as long as the barbecue grills are still there, I think we're fine, right? Yeah, perfect. All right, then I think we can call it a day, so to speak.
Yeah.
Again, thanks a lot, Andreas, for joining us. It was great talking to you.
Yeah, thank you again for the invitation and the opportunity.
Great insights, and have a great weekend. Also, everybody who joined the session, have a great weekend, and continue to follow our YouTube channel, because there will be another Ask Me Anything session in a couple of weeks. We're looking at the dates right now, Markus and I, and then it's going to be Ask Me Anything time again in September.
I will be there.
Yes.
Sure. Okay, guys.
Okay, thank you. Have a nice weekend. Bye-bye.
Follow us on Twitter.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Follow us.